Warcraft lore is really cool, but if you're like me, you've only played Hearthstone and you have no idea what the world is about. But don't worry, today I will be telling you the lore of very prominent characters in one sentence. Clearly visible horse, and you can't tell me otherwise. Top quality bricklayer starts throwing bricks after not getting paid. Inventor of lucid dreaming realizes too late the Inception folks have already taken over. World's holiest man purifies corrupted sword and puts all his faith into the light until his last breath. Everyone's favorite comeback king can't come back after being blown up into a million fell infused bits. A great orc that turned into the father of RNGesus. Forever Prince finally becomes king briefly before long-term evil possession drives him to retirement. The first boss in Alterac Valley that everybody skipped. Former master archaeologist outsources future work to bored adventurers. A dwarven prince that opts for a life recklessly exploring ancient depths. Dwarven leader came for the influence of the Fire Lord but stayed for the love of his kidnapping victim. Honorable leader unites the Tauren tribes only to be dishonorably poisoned by a tribe unwilling to unite.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Naughty Necromancer can't help but be at the center of anything and everything awful happening anywhere. Vengeful Giant Eyeball swarms the neighborhood with insects and zaps those who tried to visit with lasers. Telepathic Influencer brings a new definition to catfishing. He usually appears as a fish. Essential force for keeping undead in check is discarded once it's no longer important to the plot. Seemingly peaceful prisoner corrupts jailers and influences world events from deep inside mountain prison. Talented but accident-prone mage that can't help but find himself in our way time and time again. Empathetic leader is the only reason there's any peace between Alliance and Horde, and also the only reason there is still a Horde. Overpowered Giga Chad chooses to sleep through most of history. Orc war chief with massive chip on his shoulder commits every war crime for the Horde. Outcast from his clan embraces dark powers at the cost of anyone's and everyone's soul. Superhero hunter that doesn't want to hunt alone. He just doesn't want to hunt with you. Well-meaning leader summons werewolves to protect his kingdom, but instead just spreads their curse to his people. Two-headed master of powerful dark magic, but they would be more powerful if they could figure out how to work together. A spirit of nature that becomes an unfortunate victim of orc progress. The last king of the Spider Bros raised in undeath to betray and enslave his people. Lord of time afraid to intervene in events except when his future self is the problem. Lord of time afraid to not intervene in events even when it is his past self trying to stop him. Well-meaning mentor tries to stop impending doom but instead accelerates its progress. Mana addicted prince so dedicated to his people even death is merely a setback. A prophet of his people spent 13,000 years wandering and is clearly lost. The only thing that protects us from the terrors of death and
Blood for the blood god! Blood for the blood god! Blood for the blood god!
Null so powerful, it's a mark of honor to have been killed by him. Previously banished elemental lord insists he was invited back, has fireballs for those that disagree. A boss in Deadmines that almost everyone skipped. Fusion of nature and science declares war on healing magic. Rejected choice for war chief forms his own second-rate horde in Dragonflight. High priest of Mammoth Loa absorbs its power to bring a new ice age. A giant glowing tiger who loves to heal, fight with holy power, and has a big shiny mane. A guardian possessed by the big bad opens portals to start all the wars in Warcraft. Well-meaning arcane guardian enforces collaboration through violence. A huge, extremely dangerous, rare dinosaur. A noble knight tries to prevent the grand tournament only to be trapped in it as the Skeleton King. Eridar Lord of the Burning Legion ready to show you the wrath of the Burning Legion. Angular extraordinaire always ready to help folks find a simpler life in Azeroth.
You want to make a deal with me? Go on, go on.
Fiery Doggo can't help but be a good doggo. Orc leader that was drinking demon blood before it was cool. Previously, Golden Boy goes on a winter break one year, merges soul with an ancient orc, and then murders his father. Amalgamation of tortured souls unleashes their power on uncoordinated raid groups. Permanently online dragon corrupted by influencers into going on an IRL rampage. A well-meaning druid ruins the Emerald Dream after butt dialing an ancient evil. Legendary source of cleave damage that that can't quite cleave down the pain of his loss. An aspiring cook fills bags and breaks hearts with slightly burnt food. Former gladiator uses stealth and connections to work with both sides. Manager of plague distribution proudly promoted to plague horseman in the Nax home office.
Bone Storm!
Scheming second in command sets up a plan to take over city that plagues everyone instead. Creator of Twisted Creations later raised as a twisted creation to make twisted creations. A forgettable undead becomes a reference point for simple bosses and OP cards. An angel not sure he can really do his job decides to be the new god instead. A legendary slayer of undead betrayed by his son to turn him into an undead horseman with a corrupted sword. Least insane high elf leader brings stability to his people and the horde. Good guy turned bad decides to rejoin the good guys just in time for his death.
Many whelps! Now handle it!
A perfect assassin slays family members that disowned her after she became undead. One-eyed, multi-horned, sometimes purple dragon eater. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey also throw poo. Reckless engineering trainer is pretty sure he gave you the right schematic. World famous and well-traveled big game hunter finally retires to spend golden years as a cart driver. This is Crip's favorite raid boss. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Trigger happy nobleman can't help but betray anyone who upsets him. A Chad dad that has been closing dark portals since before you were born is still killing demons like a mage half his age. Cannibalistic proto drake overthrown by children after starting zombie dragon plague. A tyrannical leader harnesses power of the titans to bring order through pain to his empire. Horrible soul creation meant to power something much more horrible. A local butcher far too eager to supply any parts needed to the bad guys, no questions asked. A master illusionist makes you consider, reconsider, and reconsider which is the real one. A Death Knight leader realizes even though he is the bad guy, he doesn't need to be the bad guy. Recreation of giant well of magic known for attracting bad guys continues to constantly attract bad guys. Filler elemental lord and filler boss glad to finally have some relevance even if it's only in a card game. A goblin pirate captain best known for being forgettable. A full-grown turtle. Trusting and well-meaning scholar always has just the story to answer our question, often to our detriment. Super uptight paladin becomes super uptight angel after dying. A master of shadow, also a placeholder war chief best known for not dying and then later dying. Well-meaning noble stands up for his people even when they become werewolves. Former shaman retires to experience life as a Alliance bot punching bag. A big meatball that was summoned for the Horde in Alterac Valley. A big meatball summoned for Alliance in Alterac Valley. Far too vague quest giver gives Baron Chat a reason to Baron's chat, also looking for his wife. Former dead wife becomes champion decimator of the arena. Methodical manipulator of tortured souls learns he could be more powerful if he tortured all the souls. Anti-hero trying to rewrite reality loses when he realizes his reality is pre-written. Spectral stage manager can't help but make himself the center of the show. The chosen one of the story that is only seen as the villain because there was no time to explain. A mad scientist who loves blowing stuff up, but sometimes he blows himself up instead. A former elf general that takes revenge on death after dying. An enslaved gladiator finds freedom, new friends, and has a cool new way to accessorize with one cut. That one teacher that grades on a curve no matter how many students fail. Entirely effective and charming appearance of a completely trustworthy advisor to the young Prince of Stormwind. There's a ton more characters that we could cover, so let me know if you want another video with a comment and a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.